YouTube? Welcome back. It is Tuesday. This is the Blackfire Technical Analysis YouTube channel. I'm your host, Crypto Bro, also known as Brian. Welcome. Happy Tuesday. Just want to give everybody a heads up. I do apologize for no stream yesterday. I know there's a lot of big juicy things to talk about yesterday, but it was one of those days where we had a lot to do and a lot to get done, and then by the time we were done with it, it was already a day off, and we were like, oh, we just kind of want to spend time with each other. That'd be me and my lady. So, oh well, it's my life. I can do whatever I want, but I still want to let everybody know that's kind of what went down, and we're back to the originally planned schedule ahead, and we do have plenty of things to talk about here today within, not only the cryptocurrency market, but the general world markets. I assume everybody saw fucking shit in China just straight die today. People are excited. We're not going to get into the Chinese stuff because I'm not interested in the Chinese stuff. What I'm interested in is what I'm trading and what I'm paying attention to and what I'm focused on for my trades and positions here. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started looking at NASDAQ just to kind of catch up. What did we see the other day? We definitely saw a candle closure below that 21 exponential and then a hefty, heinous candlestick as a secondary candle closure below. Not only that, but we saw a bunch of support levels getting taken out here, including this diagonal potential support here. This was confirmed with 1-2 touches here, now shattered, acting as new tentative resistance coming into this week. So, kind of looking at momentum oscillators, we are seeing stochastics here cool down a little bit, and I did mention that we are on a little bit of an upwards trend line here for NASDAQ. Again, this is just for NASDAQ, right? We don't technically have a legitimate change of behavior just yet. I am looking at this low right here, which I will hold on one second. Let me, if I can figure out what the hell is going on with my. No, you know what? I'll just say it. This blue box territory here is like the end-all be-all for peace and prosperity for this asset, in my personal opinion, right? We're looking at this uptrend structure, right? And technically, yes, we are still in the precipice of an uptrend. We haven't conquered and closed on new lows just yet. Well, technically, yes, we have. Right, but I'm still looking at this one right here as kind of an inconsequential low, right? Not a big ordeal, not a major level in my opinion here. I was looking at this low here more or less as a major level at the $14,830 level here, and I'm still looking at that as a major level coming into this week. I will say with confidence that if, there we go, that's better. I will say with confidence that if price action on NASDAQ here opens and closes a daily candle closure below 14,830 here, I'm going to be very convinced that this is change of behavior, and a downtrend, like a macro downtrend, is likely to result as a result of this price action here, right? We're already seeing candles below that 21 exponential. We're already seeing candle closures below major support levels here, and definitely, take into consideration this diagonal trend line here acting as new tentative resistance. That is something to consider as well. We are seeing RSI at the same time. Boom. Significant read back below the 50 read. However, looky, right? Looky, the diagonal trend line, the long-term trend line here that we've been looking at for quite some time here, acting as a base of support for the moment in time. Am I saying that it's going to act as support coming throughout the next couple of weeks of price action? No. Been waiting for the stream all weekend. Oh, welcome, Matt, my boy Matt, back in the house. Welcome. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support, my dude. I'm feeling pretty excited to be back at it again, to be quite honest with you. I felt a little nervous missing yesterday's stream, but at the end of the day, I felt like a little bit of work and a little bit of quality time with my fiance in preparation for our upcoming wedding was a little bit more important at the time. But she's at work right now. We're back at it again. We're hitting up the stream. We're gonna hit up all the requests, which I actually forgot to bring up today. Give me a second here. And I know I got a couple of requests in the in the group chat, but I'm going to do them anyway, just because I was going to look at AMC and MMAT anyway, and the Hall of Fame as well. But coming back into NASDAQ here, again, this long-term structural trend line to the upside, it's still valid. Do I think it's going to hold validity? That's where the question comes into play, right? So this is where future planning happens, okay? So we're looking at this price action. We know that we could be potentially in the precipice of an actual change of behavior. Yes, we technically have a change of behavior after we saw price action take out this low. But again, if you look at price action here, we are still on a higher low trajectory for now. I'm looking at this level right here, 14,830, excuse me, 14,830 as the last hope level for NASDAQ for bullish continuation, right? If I see open and closures below this region here, I'm going to be looking obviously for a bounce off of this region. This would be the first target. $14,600 would be my first tentative target to the downside before looking for a bounce back up to test resistance, maybe even higher. But I'll start looking for those lower high structures here coming into NASDAQ as the weeks and months progress for price action. For now, warning shots are being fired all across the market, cryptocurrency, world markets, everything indeed, and we're going to get into some more nuanced interpretations of what I'm talking about when I open up SPY futures here. Sorry, I'm excited. When I open up SPY futures here, you're going to understand what I'm talking about once I start analyzing SPY futures. I did take a look at SPY futures here today, and I do believe what SPY futures went through is what's likely to come for the rest of the market here. I'm going to go ahead and put this back into play because this is crucial to look at as tentative resistance here. So what am I looking at right now? Obviously, a little bit of a pity bounce coming in. Again, we've already seen price action bounce up to this resistance level here, act as tentative resistance, and fail to the downside. It wouldn't be out of the question to see a little bit more continuation to the upside. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be looking for resistance at this level here and at the yellow 21. Right, I'm going to be looking for another lower high structure. We already have boom, all-time high, followed by boom, one lower high, followed by boom, one lower low. So it's not out of the question to see price action revert back to the upside, and this is where it's very, 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 very important, in my opinion, to be aware of traps. Right, we get these bounces, and we get these just like Bitcoin, right? We get these bounces that come up, and you think, oh shit, here we go, back to the bull market. Just kidding, it's a bull trap. Fuck you, right? Put that in the back burner. That is one of the. I'm not saying we couldn't see ultimate reversal from this point as a higher low at the end of the day in conjunction with this low. I'm not saying that that's not one of the probabilities. I'm just discussing the potential probabilities for the downside for now. I will get into the. Oh shit! Excuse me. I will get into the upside probabilities, but the downside, in my opinion, is a lot more interesting right now, so we're going to focus on that. So let's go ahead and look at RSI again one more time. Bearish divergence below the exponential. Look at the negative slope on that exponential, right? This is very confident-inducing as far as downside continuation is concerned, right? We could easily see price action move back up to resistance while RSI pops back up to the 50 read, and this is where I'm going to be looking for rejection, right? This 50 read is a crucial level from an RSI perspective that I focus on heavily here, and we shattered that completely and closed below it with 2 open enclosures, right? So the pressure is to the downside. We are seeing a little bit of a cool-off effect on stochastics. Doesn't mean shit. Doesn't mean stochastics can't bounce, print a lower high, and continue onwards to the downside. But the downside possibilities as of now is, again, that year-long bear market that we've been talking about for quite some time. Obviously, it wouldn't have to be as significant for this world market here for NASDAQ, but I look at cryptocurrency and I say, I think the bear market is coming. I think the bear market's coming. I think the bear market is coming. It doesn't matter what I think. What matters is what the chart tells me. So for now, the fact that we are below resistance, the fact that we are below this diagonal upside trend line, unless we break it to the upside, I will be looking for a general move down to the original bottom side target. This current low, I keep fucking with it like an idiot. This current low right here, somewhere around 14,830, right? I'm going to be looking for price action to fall into this tiny order block territory, bounce off, put in one of those little pity bounces, right? I do think there is enough momentum to send price action to the downside a little bit more. Give me a second, free money. But at the end of the day, you know, bouncy bounce territory, I think, is where we're at. So we're already starting to see a little bit of evidence of that with price action supporting the what, $14,900 region here. Nice little upside movement, but again, we're still below this diagonal resistance, and we're still below this horizontal resistance, the prior all-time high right here at 15,170, right? So as long as price action remains below that resistance level here, I will be looking for price action to move closer and closer to the $14,830 region. Now, if we break that region, boy, oh boy, a change of behavior will absolutely be confirmed. I will look for an immediate movement all the way down to $14,590. This support level here on the, you know, basically the first low before achieving these new all-time highs right along this region here. What does that mean for price action? Obviously, I would look at this region as another bouncy bounce area before potentially coming back, printing a lower high, and continuing a downtrend. At the end of the day, my brain is in full downtrend observation mode here today, unless, right, we always got to think about the possibilities to the other side, right? I can't just say, oh, I'm full blown bearish, absolutely bearish, there's no chance we survive. I have to plan. If you're failing to plan, your plan is to fail. Plan for everything and expect nothing, right? So we're going to look at the upside possibilities. Now, I will have to say, even if we do close the candle above the 15,180 resistance, what's going to convince me fully of you know, bull market continuation to the upside is an open and closure back above the 15,380 region, right? And that would be clearly back above the 21 exponential. Again, the 21 exponential being my main precipice, my main fundamental factor for my trading strategy here. I put a lot of weight on the 21 exponential, and we are closing consecutive candles below it. So, you know, the pressure is down. In my mind, the pressure is to the downside unless we revert, close above it with an open and closure to confirm, right? And if we do get that condition, get that condition here, I will look for a upside movement all the way back up to $15,600. Do I think this is likely? Absolutely fucking not. I think the downside is the most likely outcome for this market right now. Obviously, a little bit of a cool off, a little bit of sideways, I would imagine, on the shorter term time frames. Yeah, I do believe consolidation is beginning to build here on the 4-hour time frame here. What is the 12-hour telling us? Consolidation. What is the 1 hour telling us? Consolidation, right? So I do believe a consolidation phase here is opening up for NASDAQ. It's just important to pay attention to the two levels here. The most important level, in my opinion, for the upside is 15,375, and the most important level for downside continuation is 14,830. We're going to leave NASDAQ where it be and move on to SPY futures. Change of behavior confirmed. Change of behavior confirmed. Change of behavior confirmed. This one looks like it wants to fucking die. Straight up. Straight up. The moment we break, boom, we start consolidating right below the 21. Couple attempts to try to close above it. Yes, we got really close to wicking above that 21. Just kidding. Fuck you. Landslide, right? This is the major level that I'm looking at. This is the change of behavior low. This is, in my opinion, a major low for price action. Boom! Straight through it. Same disposition, except my disposition is to the downside completely. Let's look at stochastics. Stochastics, diagonal uptrend line here. We could, for the argument's sake here, right? Argument's sake. Oh, even the blue's touching. Broken. And now we are coiling on the bottom side of the bearish control zone. Invalid. Oh, what did I do? Invalid, right? Stochastics has bottomed. I do believe a little bit more to the downside is likely here. RSI, long-term uptrend structure, broken. Invalid. We're going to get rid of that. Clear and obvious break with the exponential following just behind it through the 50 read. After that bearish divergence call, boom, swing to the bottom here. We have new lows confirmed, right? And again, yeah, you could argue maybe this is another macro higher low, but again, I want to see evidence. I want to see a stop and reversal point before I'm convinced that this is a, you know, huge macro uptrend structure continuation, which, you know, again, is valid. You know, from a diagonal standpoint, right? So I will leave this here because it is technically valid. We are finding diagonal support here along this region. It is something worth talking about, right? But we obviously see momentum here wanting to push this price action to the downside. We have a clear change of behavior in this uptrend structure, taking out the last low. Boom. New lows are confirmed on a daily time frame. We have stochastics bottoming out in the bearish control zone. We have RSI bouncing off the top side of the bearish control zone. I'm going to be looking for a lower high structure here. We already have our all-time high followed by another lower high in continuation to the downside. So what does that mean for the market? Again, it could be bearish, it could be bullish, right? When it comes to movement like this, I have to let price action dictate what's coming next, right? Obviously, I'm going to be looking for a bounce along the $4,300 region, all the way up to the yellow 21 exponential, which is perfectly in line with this resistance level here at 44.40 spot 50, give or take a few bucks, which is the it's a relevant line, but the fact that it's lined up with that 21 exponential, that's kind of going to be my projected target to the upside if price action does revert that way. However, if we break this support level here at 43.10. We'll just call it 43.10. The next level that I'm going to be looking for is the prior low, all the way down at 42.50 here. And then, obviously, I'm going to be a little more convinced that the downside price action will be the end result here. Now, is this the beginning of the end? As far as the market is concerned, I'm not here to tell you that. I'm here to tell you that I pay attention to the evidence that the market gives to me. I perceive it in a specific way, and I make decisions based off of what the charts are telling me. So, we have a lot of downside pressure for SPY futures and NASDAQ, and very doubly Dow Jones Industrial, which we'll talk about. But at the end of the day, the main important thing for me and my strategy is this. The fact that we are closing consistently below the 21 exponential tells me that price action movements to the downside are more probable than a reversal back to the upside. And until we close open and closures above the 21 exponential, I have no upside targets. Now, let's say we do revert completely up above the 21 exponential. Yes, at that point, with an open and closure back above the 21, I would be targeting new all-time highs. However, again, pressures to the downside. Dow Jones Industrial here, same freaking thing. Yes, you could argue macro uptrend, bro. Macro uptrend, bro. Yeah, it's a macro low. It's possible, but this market is telling me continuation. Look, boom, break below a major support, now potentially looking to flip into new tentative resistance. Stochastics bouncing and rejecting the bottom side of the bearish control zone, diving deeper into the bearish critical zone here. Not a good signal. RSI, long-term uptrend structure, no longer valid. Boom, looking like it wants to enter the bearish control zone. Not a good look. Right, so with price action breaking below that support, I will be looking for a little bit of sideways, just like NASDAQ and SPY here. But at the end of the day, for Dow Jones, I will be looking for this resistance here to confirm as tentative resistance before looking for a move to the projected target to the downside at 33,250 at the bottom side of the box here. That's where I'm going to leave it. I will expect bouncy bounce stuff because it is near the 0.5 Fibonacci extension. I will be looking for bounces along this region. And we already got bounces off the spot 618 here. So we do use these critical Fibonacci levels here as points of interest. Boom, look at this candle here, all the way down to the spot 618. Nice recovery rate off of it, back above support. Just kidding, closed below support. So the pressures to the downside for the markets at the current moment in time. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the next coming days. Let's go ahead and move on to Dixie. I do believe this one's coming up. Yeah, up indeed. But what's curious here is that we're putting a lot of pressure on that resistance here. Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of that sideways movement here, but a lot of the pressure is on this resistance at the 93 spot 27 region here. Any closure back above that, I will look for new highs within this market here for the US dollar index. Looking at stochastics back in the bullish critical zone, remaining in the bullish critical zone, and the bulls have control. Stochastics here in the bullish neutral zone, but putting in the top and continuing onwards and upwards. I think the U.S. dollar index might do a little bit of an explosion here. Give me 1 second. I need a sip. So, you know, the U.S. dollar index coming up and price action and the rest of the markets coming down doesn't come off as a big surprise. We're above the 21 exponential, and as long as we're above that 21 exponential, I'm going to be looking for price action to continue. But for now, we're putting a lot of pressure. If we do reject this region here and come back down, wouldn't be out of the question here. You know, potentially put a little bit of a higher low on the 21 or even this support here, or even this support here at 92.80. Wouldn't be out of the question for either one of those dispositions. But, you know, if we do reject this resistance, I will be looking for a higher low structure unless we open and close below 92.45, right? As long as price action remains above 92.45, I will be looking for a higher low structure or continuation in general. So that's going to do it for Dixie here. Let's check out AMC. Probably not looking too spicy. Nope, we got 2 candle closures below the 21 exponential, and we have a change of behavior confirmed on the daily time frame. Not a good look. Listen, guys. Oh my fucking god, I have to, this group that I'm in, I have to get the fuck out of this group, man, because if I want to be honest, right, it's just a pullback, bro. It's just a pullback, bro. Nah, dude, from a technical standpoint, it is a change of behavior. It is a change of, this thing's not going to a fucking $1,000, man. Get a grip. Get a grip. Unless you can show me evidence of that, it's not going to $1,000 a share. Grow up. Now, I'm not saying that it's not possible for it to go to $1,000 a share. Is it going to happen this year? No. Is it going to happen next year? No. Is it going to happen in the next 5 years? No. 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 You know how much capital would need to go into AMC for a $1,000 share? Come on, people. Be smart about your trades and investments. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is just my opinion. Grow up. Stop looking for that $1,000 target, man, because put a pile of shit in one hand and put a big old wish in the other and tell me which one feels more realistic. Just saying, bro. So let's go to AMC. What do we have here? A vastly negative slope on the 21 exponential. 3 consecutive closures below the 21 exponential. A projected target as of now, 37.20. If we close below 37.20, I will look for a back test to confirm as new tentative resistance or continuation straight to the bottom side of the blue box territory here. Now, you know, this is the last hope level here. Any closure below 29 bucks, this fucking asset is done. When in doubt, pull out. We have a micro uptrend. Yes, but that micro uptrend was just destroyed today. Without this candle, we can argue a micro uptrend. Yes, micro. M-I-C-R-O. Micro. God, I get frustrated. Macro, it's still a lower fucking high. Am I bullish on anything that is printing macro lower highs? No. I am going to be looking for what? Macro lower lows. Now, yes, the trade was exciting while price action remained above the 21 exponential. And then we saw a top. And I said, yeah, maybe we put in a low off the 21. Rejection. Just kidding. That was your first warning shot. Boom. Closure below the 21 exponential. If you were in a position on AMC, in my opinion, I was. The moment we closed below the 21 exponential, I thought, yeah, this is time. We got a top call here on the RSI, and that first boom, that first initial movement was below the exponential, and it forced it negative. I pulled my position out in a deep profit. Second warning signal here. Boom, top off in the bullish critical zone with a firm and controlling shift from the top side through the bottom side into the bullish control zone. That critical 80 read, warning shot fired number 2. I told you guys, I closed this position on this day here, on the 17th, because I got the evidence to, to tell me to do so. We got the first warning shots fired after this top was confirmed. In the moment we closed below the 21, I said, I'm not even going to risk taking 2%. I'm just going to close it. Boom. Take the profit, take the money off the table while I can and run with it, right? That's why we're all here. We're here to take profits and run with them. And now we see continuation as a result. Looking at these momentum oscillators, right? RSI breaking below that 50 read here and continuing onwards to the downside. Stochastics looking at a breach of the bearish control zone zone, through the top side of the bearish control zone, this one does not look good. If we break that support here at 37.27, I will be looking for a full retracement to the bottom side of the blue box territory, but likely all the way down to the $29 region. And if we print a new low off the $29 region here, I'm going to be very convinced that the bear market for AMC is confirmed. The only thing that will convince me otherwise is a low right now, a low, a reaction, and a full recovery back above the 21 exponential will be the evidence I need to see to be convinced that we could still have the potential to see this uptrend continue. So again, you could argue that it is still in an uptrend formation, and I will leave this diagonal trend line here for educational purposes. However, if I see that diagonal break, I don't think this uptrend continues. I think this one comes straight to the downside. Again, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. While I am looking at the positives, the upside possibilities here, we have a lot of evidence, and I mean too much evidence for the downside here on price action and momentum oscillators for me not to be like, yep, this is coming down, right? So, pressures to the downside. We have a macro lower high looking at continuation in conjunction with the all-time high here. Anyone that says this is bullish right now, maybe take some time and open a book and study some charts, man. It might be time for you to learn some charts because we do not have a macro uptrend. We have a micro uptrend, potentially. If we don't get this high or low here, man, we're fucked. AMC is fucked. And we already got a change of behavior here, right? From a macro perspective. And from a micro perspective, we have a macro perspective. We have a lower high in conjunction with the all-time high. Man, too much evidence. I have no faith in AMC. That's why I pulled out. MMAT here, still riding that 21 exponential, but let me tell you, the rest of the market isn't looking too healthy. We already have a lower high here in conjunction with this high, so we do have a little bit of a downtrend in formation. We also have this descending triangle formation here, which statistically, yes, it does end up being bullish at the end of the day. However, we come over to the momentum oscillators here. We do see RSI back below the exponential after using it as tentative resistance, looking for a little bit of a drive towards that 50 read here. Yes, still above the 50 read. There is a little bit of hope, and we'll talk about that. Stochastics, straight dive through the 50 read. We're going to mark that off here. Boom. Straight dive through the 50 read. I think continuation to the downside is the likely outcome for this one. Everything else is seeing a lot of red here. In my opinion, there's nothing special about this asset that wouldn't tell me that this one doesn't have the probability to come down either. However, we do have a little bit of a crucial signal here. Another closure below this tentative support here, looking for more pressure on that 21. We do see the 21 exponential here kind of waning over, right? We're starting to see this pressure starting to put a little bit of an effect on that 21, right? I want to see the 21 positive, right? Positively sloped. And while it is positively sloped, boy, is it barely positively sloped. So, the evidence to the downside, there's a lot of sell pressure here. There is a lot of pressure on that 21 exponential. There's a lot of pressure on this support level here. If that breaks, the next tentative target for me personally is going to be all the way down at $3.82. Not looking too hot. And again, stochastics breaking through that 50 read, not too hot either, and confirming a macro lower high, right? And when in doubt, pull out. This one could also prove to be a macro lower high as well, because this is your blow off all-time high followed by a lower high. Nothing on these charts so far is telling me, yep, these are going to the moon. These are I want to pump the brakes there, buddy. Pump the brakes. Having me a little bit of a drink. Checking out these requests here real quick. Let's do the Hall of Fame. Okay, disposition, targets, levels. Okay, we already got the downside target, a break below $4.90. I'll look for a back test and confirm his new tentative resistance, but ultimately I would look for that 21 exponential to break, and that would be my most conservative viewpoint for this one here. If that 21 breaks and confirms his new tentative resistance, I'll look for pullbacks all the way down to $3.82. That's going to be my first target. I don't want to do any hindsight here because technically, yes, we could see a revert back down to this region and still confirm a higher low. Until we take that region out, my psychology has to stay the same. And to the upside, if we break the triangle formation, let's go ahead and do a measurement on that triangle formation. Oh, wrong tool here, buddy. A little bit of a measurement on that tool. Boom. from the perceived breakout point, if we break out of the triangle, yeah, I do believe price action reverts up to new highs here and continues the trend to the upside again. But however, we're seeing that horizontal resistance, or excuse me, that diagonal resistance act as resistance very, very, very heavily right now. No signs of it breaking. This formation, in my opinion, is either going to break to the upside or to the downside in literally the next day or two. I think we are approaching the apex climax moment of this formation here. So if you're trading MMAT, it's time to pay attention. It's either going to break to the upside or break to the downside. This is a clean formation here. So we can already see by price action movements here that we are coming to the climax point, which is the 24th, right? 2 days. Next 2 days, maybe in the next 3, I'd be looking for a move either to the upside or to the downside, and that likely dictates the general direction of this market here, in my opinion. Moving on, checking out the Hall of Fame. I still think this one dies. To be quite honest with you, we do have another little bit of an uptrend, right? We do have a higher high above this high, but it's not a macro higher high, and this isn't even considered a high just yet. Right now, we're just seeing a little bit of consolidation on that 21 exponential. The 21 looks weak. The main disposition is continuation, right? Continuation of consolidation until proven otherwise. A break above this region here, which we already saw, but boom. Right, just because it broke doesn't mean it's going to confirm, right? We always wait for confirmation, you guys. Always take that key lesson, take that critical lesson here. We saw a break, and I guarantee you people got excited. They're like, oh, it broke. Just kidding. Resistance, right? Resistance. And now we see a candle closure back below the 21, which is another little bit of a nerve-wracking thing. We do have an uptrend formation here on stochastics that is valid in my opinion. Does that mean we have a sway of, momentum here? Right, I need to see price action move in conjunction, right? Just because RSI says, just because stochastic says, yeah, uptrend, woo, we got a cross in the bearish control zone pointing straight up, does not mean price action is going to follow. I want to see price action movement first, back above this resistance, back above $3.05. If we get an open and closure back above $3.05, then I will be looking for the next projected target at $3.37. However, if we continue to reject $3.05 and close another candle below the 21, the price projection for the downside is $2.85, which is a critical pivot point in my opinion. And if we break below that, my original disposition of $2.41 will come back into play. We do see RSI throwing off a little bit of a no-go signal here with a rejection of that 50 read back towards the exponential here. Right, again, choppy. Right, this is where I don't trade. I am not trading here because I don't have any significant signals telling me, yeah, it's bullish or bearish, right? We're kind of just playing around with these levels here, and we've been playing around with these levels for quite some time here. And, until something moves, basically giving me the evidence of general direction for the market, I'm going to stay kind of neutral. When in doubt, pull out though. This is clearly a downtrend, clearly a macro downtrend overall. New lows after the a lower high after the all-time high, right? All-time high, lower high, lower high. It's a downtrend. This is all micro, sir, micro, which means short-term time frames. Irrelevant when it comes to longer term time frames. When I talk about the daily time frame, right, I'm looking for daily positions. That does not mean the daily is going to vastly affect the macro. And this kind of movement here, this is not a macro uptrend. This isn't something that's telling me, yep, I'm going to be looking at a bull market for the next 6 to 8 months. No, what this is telling me is this is pretty fucking weak right now. And if we continue to reject that 21 exponential, and especially the bottom side of this blue box territory here, price action likely moves down to that $2.41 region here. So that's kind of how I'm looking at this price action right now. Nothing too exciting for this movement. Yeah, we have a higher low in conjunction with this low, but guess what? We had that here too, and it failed as well. So this is inconsequential in my opinion. This means jack shit to me until I see evidence that this thing wants to actually continue to the upside. And until it does that, I'm going to have the same disposition. And the only thing, to be quite honest with you, not the 21, the only thing that will convince me that this one's ready to reverse to the upside is a new freaking high above $3.37. That's it. Until we see that condition met, I am not confident for bullish continuation to the upside. My bias is more towards bearish continuation to the downside for the Hall of Fame. So let's go ahead. This is where my confidence comes through, boy! So this one kind of fucked me, right? For the 21 exponential, I'm always looking for those small candle closures below. This one just died. This one just said, nope, today. Today is the day. I didn't even get a confirmation signal on this move here. So you may be asking yourself, Brian, what did you do? Brian, what did you do? First, I'll tell you what I did. But first, let's look at price action. Actually, let's make this, I forgot to do this. I do apologize. Let's make that more visible for you guys. First off, heinous rejection of resistance, of support, right? We were acting as support and then we fell straight through, testing the $42,200 region, right? Boom, nice little bounce up. This was a confirmation signal. This was enough of a signal for me to start planning positions to the downside. Look at the slope of that 21. Very negative. We can see that this one here is kind of like a hill, and this one's more like a straight fall off, right? So price action back below the 21 exponential and cruising through support all the way down here. I was looking for a bounce within this region, to be quite honest with you. So here's what I did, right? And since I already got the confirmation candle closure below the 21, I have to play this move in a different light. So the first thing I did, I took a small position here, 10% of my account. I have a limit for this position here for 10% of my account, and another limit for here, 10% of my account, right? I have 3 levels. I've already limit ordered, entered 1 position, right? I didn't market order. I want to scrape as much coin from these positions as I can. The pressure is to the downside. Downtrend confirmed, change of behavior confirmed, everything to the downside has been confirmed, so I am looking for short plays, right? I'm already in a short play. I am expecting price action to move likely back up to this region here, right? Wouldn't be out of the question. And worst case scenario, up to the 21 exponential. So that's kind of how I have my positions layered at the current moment in time, right? So what does this mean for price action? Yes, obviously we're seeing bouncy bounce territories. I do have 2 limit orders set and ready to fire if price action decides to move back up. But ultimately, at the end of the day, we're back below this diagonal resistance. We're back below this horizontal resistance. We're back below the 21 exponential, RSI, back below the 50 read, and below the exponential after using it as tentative resistance. God, you guys can't make this shit up. You really can't make it up. This is evidence. This is just evidence telling you it's probably time to get out of your long positions and start looking for short positions. Stochastics, back into the bearish control zone. I'm going to be looking for this one to dive all the way down to the bottom side of the bearish control zone, with price action potentially rejecting the 42,300 region all the way down to this preliminary target at 38,200, or maybe see a little bit of momentum carry it upwards to the 44,600 region first. But ultimately, even if price action reverts back to the upside, I am not looking for reversal at all. Change of behavior confirmed. Look at all of the lows that we took out. That one's taken 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 out. We have ourselves a downtrend, ladies and gentlemen. And coming over to the Hull 104, we're going to bring that bad boy back up and let's talk about it, why don't we? Oh boy, you really can't make this shit up, ladies and gentlemen. Clean, right? And I shout out Crypto Kirby on YouTube for showing me this indicator. But as soon as he pulled it up, I was like, oh, this is a market cycle indicator here. And we're gonna look at again a couple of examples here, right? 2013 blow off top, a little bit of a downtrend, open and closure below, followed by a back test. Again, this is on the weekly time frame. Boom, year-long bear market. Break back above the 104. Huge bull market. What? To the upside, blow off 2017 blow off top at $20,000, followed by what? A confirmed candle closure below, followed by what? Back test, confirmed it as new tentative resistance, a little bit of a bull trap, followed by what? A year-long bear market. Break back above, we have another bull market. Boom, break below, back test, reject, back test, swan dive, and then boom, back above it, big old bull market. And then look, wouldn't you fucking know it, boom, break below, confirmed candle closures below, boom, back up to test it, kiss it, reject. I do believe we are on the precipice of a confirmed bear market at the current moment in time. We have a weekly change of behavior confirmed, again, on the weekly chart here, followed by a back test of the Hall 104, followed by rejection and tentative continuation. I am going to be looking for price action to move further down, not only short term on the daily time frame, but also on the longer term weekly time frame. So that's kind of how I'm looking at Bitcoin here. And again, you could argue, it's time to buy the dip, bro, buy the dip. I think if you buy the dip, you get fucked in the butt. Just saying. That's just if you're not cool with vulgarity here, I don't give a shit. Get off my channel. Overall, though, I think Bitcoin is looking at a bear market. I think it's looking at it directly in the eyeball sockets here. And again, we've seen this time and time again, right? The blow off top, all-time high, followed by a catastrophic pull to the downside, and then a relief rally where everyone says, oh, the bulls are going to take over. No, they're fucking not, because the bears took their profits. Bulls eventually flip into bears, right? If you're a bull, you're not forever a bull. That's just common market psychology. Bulls play the bearish side too, and bears play the bullish side too. Right? The bulls were here. This is the fucking bulls, right? This is bull, right? That is where the bulls are absolutely maintaining dominance over the market. And then we see this shit. Right? We see it lose 50% of its entire value. You cannot tell me, after losing 50% of its entire value, that the bulls aren't flipped to bears. Why? Because the bulls took their profits here, forcing price action to the downside. And then the bulls were like, let's set a little bit of a trap. Let's get some more liquidity. Let's make everyone think that the market's gonna go to new all-time highs. Boom! Just kidding. Very, 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 very critical level that I'm very confident that I've told all of you about numerous times. Rejected. Boom. Backtest. Consolidation. Boom. Lower high confirmed. Downtrend confirmed. Downtrend continuation is my disposition on this, only if we don't see a full reversal to a new high above 48,475. That is the only condition that I will look at that would convince me that Bitcoin is looking at a bullish uptrend continuation. Yes, because arguably, if this confirms as a low, we could say from this point here to this point here is a higher low. This is a change of behavior, guys. Again, while I am thinking of the upside possibilities here, generally, as long as price action remains below the 21 exponential, I am not looking for any type of long positions at all whatsoever. And until proven otherwise, that's my disposition on Bitcoin. Again, lots of evidence here suggesting downside continuation as a result. I'm looking at this as a pity bounce, to be quite honest with you. And yeah, that's Bitcoin. I think we have a couple of... Ethereum's going to be the same. Ethereum is going to be the same, man. Ethereum, same. Downside, I'm looking for continuation to the downside. A little bit of a pity bounce here. Stochastics, boom. Straight to the bearish control zone. RSI, bearish divergence below the 50 read. New low, almost a new low confirmed, but not yet. A little bit of a pity bounce. We're below the exponential. We're using the exponential as tentative resistance. We got a huge critical signal below the 50 read here, and stochastics, rejecting the neutral zone here as well. And look at price action. Once again, downtrend confirmed. Here's your high, right? In conjunction with this high, it's a lower high. Here's your high. Boom. Here's your lower high. New lows confirmed. I told you guys, if Bitcoin reverts and twists to the downside, the rest of the cryptocurrency market is likely to fall suit. This coin, right? And again, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I'm going to get a little cocky here. A lot of these major cryptocurrencies aren't going to magically swift to a bullish uptrend just because you think they're going to. Bitcoin moved to the downside. Guess what? Ethereum is directly paired with Bitcoin. What Ethereum does is because of Bitcoin. Yes, there are times where Ethereum has a lot more power and a lot more movement than Bitcoin here, but at the end of the day, Bitcoin is the big bro. Bitcoin is the number one. If Bitcoin fucking dies, the rest of the cryptocurrency market likely does the same, right? We always have to be cautious of that. And again, not a fundamental theory. I think it's a fact. I think that is a strict fact. Unless Bitcoin crashed and every single cryptocurrency in the market did nothing and went up, it's pretty much a fucking fact. When Bitcoin crashes, the rest of the cryptocurrency market tends to do the same. So my disposition is the exact same here. I am looking for a pity bounce, likely up to this region here. Wouldn't be out of the question to see it bounce all the way to the yellow 21 at 32.85. But ultimately, any kind of movement to the upside, I'm going to be looking at getting this swiftly rejected, right? We see the massive pressure to the downside of momentum from both momentum oscillator perspectives here. We have critical signals being fired off. Again, open and closure below the 21 here. Right here's your damn signal. Right here's your signal. Right? If you're like, Brian, but I don't see where I could have gotten in. 2 candle closures below the 21. First, a break below the 21, followed by a secondary open and closure below the 21. This, oh shit. This is a picture perfect risk management entry position right fucking here. Right here. This isn't a bigger far cry of an entry ever. Ever. This is so clean of a position. And you never get shaken out. And if you enter on that 21 exponential move here, you are currently up 16%. Probably taken profit along this support level here and this support level here. You've already taken profit twice in 3 days. So anybody that's like, where's the signal, Brian? Here's your signal right here. Secondary candle closure below the 21 exponential in conjunction with a rejection of the negatively sloped exponential in conjunction with a rejection of the neutral zone for both, followed by follow through. Secondary candle closure, follow through. I would have entered on this secondary candle closure while the price action was as close as humanly possible. Kind of beat myself up for not trading Ethereum right now, but price action as close as possible to the 21 exponential. Boom! Swift to the downside. This position is the same, everybody. I am going to be looking for downside movements. Yes, I have upside possibilities here, but am I looking for new highs? No, not at all. I'm going to be looking for any upside movement to get rejected and the ultimate target low to be $2,400 first and foremost. If we break $2,400, new lows. I'm going to be looking for new lows. If this bear market continues to play out the way it's playing out, I think new lows definitely becomes the main disposition for the cryptocurrency market. Cardano, again, another cryptocurrency that is likely the same disposition. Same disposition. Below the 21. We've been below the 21 for quite some time. You got a very early signal on this price action here. Boom. Candle closure below, a little bit of a fake out. You never exited because this candle here still remained below the 21. Boom, you are deep in the profit. But if you're not, it's your own damn fault. Bearish control zone, back below the 50 read, acting as resistance for the negatively sloped exponential ever since the blow off top. When? Here. Bearish divergence, boom. You can't make this stuff up, guys. Again, same disposition. I'm going to be looking for targets much lower than $1.90 here. I'm going to be looking for a movement all the way down to $1.56 ultimately here. Obviously, barring any kind of moves to the upside. Again, let's go back to Bitcoin, and I guess I can talk about it. Again, we have to print new highs. A recovery above the 21 doesn't mean shit because we could still print a lower high. A recovery to new highs will be the only thing that convinces me of bullish continuation. Nothing other than that one critical thing will convince me that this is going to reverse and bull market it up, right? I think we are looking at the beginning etchings of a 1 year long bear market, everyone. A 1 year long bear market. And trust and believe when I tell you, when this thing prints in new lows, I will be looking to buy all the Bitcoin all the way down in the crypto abyss. And I will be looking to strike like a ninja in the mist. So protect yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. AHT, AHT is the last one. I already did the S&P 500. Let's do AHT. Ashford Hospitality. Still below the 21. Nothing exciting. We're back above a resistance here, so I will be looking for price action to open and close a secondary back above to confirm as support. However, we're seeing pressure with that 21. Until we close above that 21, I am not going to be convinced of anything, right? As you guys already know. But if we do close above the 21 exponential, I will look for movement all the way back up to, we'll just call it $16 here, and likely a little higher. If we confirm new highs, we will have ourselves a little bit of a micro uptrend in formation. However, I'm here to believe that this is just a cool down period, a micro consolidation period before ultimately continuing to die. Because this market is ass, and it has been nothing but ass since its inception. This hasn't. This is a shit chart. I haven't seen a shittier chart like this in quite some time. But the stochastics bearish control zone, RSI out of the bearish control zone. Bullshit, choppy as fuck micro uptrend. Again, nothing convincing, you guys. I look for sideways price action until the top side of the range here is broken above 16 bucks. With that condition being met, any open and closure above 16 bucks, I will look for moves all the way back up to 17.90. However, if we reject the 21 exponential here, I'll be looking for new lows. Again, as long as price action remains below that 21 exponential, I will hold shorts. And I will look for price action to continue downward. So I think that's going to do it for today's stream, everybody. I hope everybody liked the stream. I hope everybody likes my sassy bullshit attitude. And if you don't, wubba lubba dub dub, bitch. I don't give a fuck. Doesn't matter. Thank you, though, if you are supporting, if you watch the stream, and you're being a part of the community, and you like my harsh bullshit reality personality. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Thank you for the support. Much love goes out to you. If you guys are new to the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tick that little bell. All the support in the Blackfire Facebook channel is starting to grow on a consistent basis. I'm starting to gain members every day, which is pretty nice. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. The links are in the description below for the Blackfire Technical Analysis official Facebook group platform, as well as the Twitter handle, although I don't use Twitter at all. It's just there. If you want to hop into the Twitter, there isn't any content, but it's there, right? It's there. So that's going to do it for today, everybody. And you know what it is, and you know how it always is. Until next time.